I'm Chevy, and today on The Daily Shed, we discuss dealing with the police. Hello friends, welcome to The Shed. It's Monday, another beautiful Monday. Back to work for the week. Back to some good projects I've been starting. This weekend, I was at a social setting with my friends playing board games because it was International Tabletop Day, and some police showed up. And it was like a big deal. They walk in, and everybody in the room just kind of, and the tension in that room was like palpable, right? It was weird because we're a bunch of grown adults doing perfectly legal things in a setting that was very family friendly, and yet people had this inherent tightening. And I'm an observant person, being a biker, I have sensed this feeling from the police many times. I'm 6'4", I'm like 225. I wear, vests, bandanas, sunglasses when I go into stores or whatever. And there is a tension when I'm seen that way that is bizarre to me because I'm just a person, right? If I were to walk in the same place, same time, same setting with my button-down shirt and my hat on, nobody would even remotely be concerned about me being in their presence. But I walk in with a vest on and suddenly I'm like a gangbanger or something. But that's not what this is about. There's been a lot of backlash towards the police lately on the internet for the past years, really. Police cams and all that stuff. Because people are concerned about police brutality and Black Lives Matter and that sort of stuff. And I totally get it. Police are people. And so this is I want to talk about how you treat the police is how the police treat you, okay? And so this is a two-part story. A couple years back, I was traveling into DC to visit some friends on the motorcycle, loaded it up with gear. It's about a 4.5 hour ride. I stopped at the halfway point to get gas and stretch and ride on into DC. Now, a whole host of circumstances led up to me running out of fuel on the, I think it's the I-95 that cuts through DC, and having to pull off the side of the road. Now, no more than 30 seconds, I wasn't even off my bike yet, then Secret Service vans roll up beside me, dogs jump out, police jump out, guys in suits. Sir, we need you to stand there, we need to bring the dogs in, they sniff, all the stuff happens. What happened? I ran out of gas. Okay, great, we're going to send somebody to sit with you. They go off, and up rides this motorcycle cop. Now, for those of you who aren't bikers, when you get on that saddle, there is a certain creed that just goes with motorcycling that binds us all together. I have had people turn around on the interstate to come back and check and make sure I'm okay. I've done the same for other motorcyclists. Even though I might just be sitting on the side of the road, stretching or whatever, people show concern because we're all motorcyclists and we all know what it's like to be out there riding solo. So this motorcycle cop comes up on his new Harley, has, tons of tattoos and what's up. And so I tell him the whole story and he said, okay, I'm going to try and get you some gas. All right, so he radios in. I'm there for a long time. I'm stuck on the side of the road with no gas with this motorcycle cop. Come to find out the president's coming through. So they have the whole interstate shut down. And the overpass, I'm right by an overpass, it's shut down, the interstate's shut down. The motorcycle cop's you're going to have to stand here. You're not supposed to be here. We're supposed to have the road clear, but it's okay, we understand. So I just need you to stand up against this high wall. Don't move when the president comes by. I'm like, all right. So sure enough, a few minutes later, this motorcade going 80 miles an hour with all of the sirens going goes flying past us. 2 vans and guys hanging out the back with their guns, and I'm okay. Being a Marine, it's not a big deal. You see this. So this motorcade passes me, and the motorcycle cop's like, somebody's going to bring you gas. I'll see you later. And he just rolls off. And we had chatted. We were there for probably a half hour and talked about bikes, talked about riding. He's ready to retire. He wants to, just travel the country on his personal bike. And okay. And he just left me. That was like the total opposite of what motorcyclists do for each other. Not only that, this is a police officer of the DC police force, our nation's capital police. But that's a reminder that the old adage of to protect and serve that's not what police do. Police enforce the law, period. That's their job. And if you're not breaking the law, you should have nothing to be concerned about. But police are people. So that leads to the second part of this story. I start walking. I've got nothing to do. I can't get a hold of people that I'm visiting, so I just have to start walking. So I start walking down the interstate, and like 100 yards past me, there's another van that broke down. And I walk past this van, and the guy is like snuffling around the back, and he's like around a gas. And I'm like, me too. I'm going to go find gas. So I just keep on walking. And I hear somebody yelling, and I turn around, and it's the guy. He comes running up to me, and he's like, you're not going to find gas that way. You're going to go into the DC tunnel, and you cannot walk through there. And I said, well, I have to find gas. So I'm just going to go find gas. He's like, I'll walk with you. So we end up like jumping over this wall and walking through this like gated community and finding our way through these twisted streets. Now, he's been to DC quite a few times. I think he lived there. And he's like, I know where we're at. There should be a gas station a couple blocks this way. Awesome, let's go. So we cross the street, and he's like, we're in the ghetto now. I'm like, okay, I can kind of tell that. Didn't care. In all my biker gear with this guy, we walk, and we find a 7-Eleven. But it was like a 7-Eleven that doesn't sell gas. It just was a 7-Eleven convenience store. And in the parking lot of this convenience store were 2 cop cars. And there's like some shady-looking guys hanging outside, like gang people kind of look. And those 2 cop cars are sitting there. And so I look at Chris, the guy who's been walking with me, and I said, I'm going to go ask the cop. And he's like, no, we don't do that. And I'm like, it's okay. I'm going to go talk to the cop. So I walk over to the window of the first officer. He's got like a Jeep, and I kind of just stand there, and he rolls the window down. He's like, can I help you? And I'm like, I broke down on the interstate. I have no gas. My friend Chris is with me. He's in the same situation. We both need gas. Is there gas? And the guy's like, no. Like, there's no gas. Like, apparently there's 3 or 4 fuel stations in all of DC. There's just no place to get fuel. So the cop's kind of like, I don't know. He's like, I'll tell you what, just hop in. We'll go get gas. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah. So I get in the front. Chris is black. That matters because the dude's like, listen, dude, this isn't a cage car. You don't have to feel bad about getting in the back. Because, there's all these guys. And he's like, okay. So Chris gets in the back. The cop's name was Nick. Nick drives us all through DC, shows us his house, talks about his dogs, takes us to get gas, waits for us while we negotiate with his owner because it was like late at night and you have to like pay through the little window, but we needed to get inside because he needed a gas can. And we get gas. Nick drives us back. He's like, I should not be doing this. I'm going to get in big trouble if I don't make my next check-in, which was across town and all this other stuff. And we're like, cool, dude, thank you. He drops us off. We fuel up our vehicles. It was amazing. It was a really amazing experience. And that was just because I just approached this police officer. I'm in biker gear in a ghetto, a real, like, rough side of town. And I just approached this cop like, he's going to help me if I'm just nice to him. And you know what? He did. And it was a really endearing moment when I saw Chris, who was like, we don't talk to the cops. He's giving me like, no, dude, we don't do that. And I'm like, come on, man. Come on. And he gets in the car and he's like, thanks for the ride. I've never been in the back of a cop car without handcuffs. And so it worked out beautifully. 2 very different stories. The first guy was nice and all, but he just left me stranded on the side of the road. And this guy like took the time out of his day and could possibly get in trouble for not being where he was supposed to be to help me out, help me go get gas. All because I treated him like a human, not like a servant or something that I should be afraid of or ashamed of. And that feeling of walking, when those police walked in this weekend and the people in the room were just kind of like, oh, the cops are here. What do we do? There's cops. It was bizarre. I didn't get it. What are your cop stories? Talk about it in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, good or bad. The thing to remember is that cops are people, and people make mistakes, period, in any job. There are going to be people who use the power that's been given to them in ways that we don't agree with. I feel like those people should be punished. I'm not making excuses for cops who do stupid things. But there are also cops who are just genuinely good people who took on a profession that they feel strongly about because they want to see society bettered. And we shouldn't just put them on the pile of garbage that we think belongs to that whole sect of whatever. Anyway, tell us your stories, comments below. Let us know what you think about the police and how you deal with them. Let's see, today's random fact is from enchantedlearning.com. Why is the Ring of Fire called the Ring of Fire? Wonder if this is talking about the song. The area encircling the Pacific Ocean is called the Ring of Fire because its edges mark a circle of high volcanic and seismic activity, earthquakes. Most of the active volcanoes on Earth are located in this circumference, the Ring of Fire. I believe it stretches over into Japan and the western United States, and it's that whole big area called the Ring of Fire. No, it's not talking about the song. That's it for today. Thank you all for making me a part of your day. Don't forget to like and comment and share this video with all of your friends. If you'd like to get your hands on a postcard, send me a letter. The contact information is in the description. If you want to send me something for the wall, I do that on Fridays. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you. There's one thing that any aspiring Marine needs to understand. Marine Corps boot camp is one of the most physically challenging things you will ever go through. It challenges you. It challenges every muscle in your body. It challenges your ability to work with very little sleep, with very little rest, and it's grueling. But that's not what boot camp is about.